This is the White Rim Trail. Look at that. So we're going down today. These switchbacks.
So begins the White Rim Trail. We're doing it counterclockwise. The two gentlemen you see right here. It's Ben on a 1200 GSA and Matt on a KTM 690 Enduro. His bike is, of course, way better for the technical stuff, but not as good for long distance. Whereas the GSA and my Africa Twin Adventure Sports do really well. I've been across the country a couple of times on it. It's amazing, and it handled some of the challenges on this route. I'd seen this in a lot of videos. A lot of people had talked to me about it, and I finally wanted to see it, and it lived up to all the hype. I mean, look at those views you can see. I know the camera work's not the greatest. I'm still figuring out the GoPro and the 360 Insta, but this was pretty steep downhill. It was pretty easy, but huge. I don't know how many hundreds of feet down it was, but look at the views. Like, you can see when the brightness clears up here, you can see forever, and it's amazing. The zigzag goes down. The views on this trip were just amazing. at the beginning and at the end of the White Rim Trail is about a 2,000 foot elevation change on switchbacks. It's fairly steep but fairly easy, and as you can see, the views are absolutely amazing. These switchbacks are worth the price of admissions all by themselves. Just how awesome it was what you could see. I'd never ridden anything like this before. Easy but huge elevation gain, and you can see the whole thing at once. And as you come into it, you can see down where you're going to go down, and when you come out, you can see these hills, these switchbacks you're going to go up, and it's just breathtaking. So this is like the end of the switchbacks right here. We're coming down to almost the river elevation level, where and then we're going to go along. I didn't know which way to go, so I paused at the Y and let the other two motorcyclists catch up, and then they headed the right way, and then I followed them out, and then we came to the sand that you're going to see pretty soon. But look at these views, though. It's just, the whole thing was amazing. Here's the Y. I didn't know whether to go straight or turn, so I pulled over and let them catch up and pass me, and I followed Matt and Ben. But look at these views. And then over where those trees are that you can see, that's where it starts to get sandy. This whole experience was amazing. So then we come to deep sand again, and I had to stop, and because it was so soft, I kind of lost my nerve. Usually I'd have been like standing up going through it. I did Baja. Baja was lots of deep sand, and that kind of got me over my fear of sand, but because I had to stop and then I had to start again, so I was kind of like going slow here until I could get back in my groove again. And then like right here, I'm like, I'm starting to get, and then once you like start again your groove, and then it gets really deep, and then it tries to knock the front wheel out, and then ahead of me, Matt dropped his bike, and he had a bike that was the best for this. So I kind of slowed down because I don't want to like run anybody over, and I see that they're gone, so I pick up, stand up, and get on it again, go through the deep sand, no problem, and then just start moving. And then there's a truck I had to worry about. Didn't want to lose control and ride into him, but got by there no problem. Very understanding.
Ma, we're good.
Yeah. I'm just gonna take the clothes off.
What's that?
Take the clothes off. Too hot.
All of them?
Oh, naked. We have Portland. We do the naked bike rides.
Up there's the car that almost killed Matt. It's a pretty sketchy, but no, they're both fine, so it's cool. And as you can see, I gotta wait for the dust to clear out after he speeds off before I can continue.
How's the bike treating you? Really good. Dude, I thought she was gonna hit me. Oh no. Dude, she was just like sliding on top of this thing and trying to stop. I'm just like, Oh, fuck. All right. All right now.
This is how it ends.
Yeah. You like, you see a cute girl smile, like, you're like, oh. Yeah, no, bike's doing well.
You got the bike for this.
I do.
Cheating.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough, I wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I can roast, I can gas. Think I'm okay and last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you are behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up.
So this is a lot harder than it looks. The video flattens it out, but this is a difficult descent right here. You can see like the beautiful views that you have there, but also like you can see when the motorcycle drops when it hits a rock and stuff like that. And the curves are pretty hard too. You can see what the drop off is right there.
I'm not giving up, no I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it.
Tell on the GoPro because the GoPro flattens everything out, but this is the second hardest hill on this course. There's a few, like by the end of doing this, I was a lot more confident at downhills. I hate downhills. I don't mind uphills if there's not somebody in front of me, but downhills really bother me when they're really steep. And but I got really good at it by the end of this. So that was a hard one. We got another one coming up, but after that one, like what we got is pretty easy in comparison. Like back in the day, all of this would have scared me, but that one that we just went down, that was the second hardest of the whole route. The hardest is going to be in the second video of this, and that's the one where I dropped my bike, and I really should have gone up the hill and down it again just to get comfortable, because after I did it, I dropped the bike on the first part of the hill, and then I went down the whole rest of the hill, and I'm like, man, I could easily do this hill. So, but I think it's just like at the beginning I was a little apprehensive, and then went over a rock, kicked the back tire out, and then I kind of lost my lost my nerve. So I should have done it again for sure. But yeah, the downhills continue. Here it is. This isn't quite as challenging though, but it's still pretty challenging. Hauling ass again, and this is like amazing, but we're about to go to some uphill. Got a little sand here, but it's not a big deal. Moving right through it. There's an uphill coming, and that's going to be tricky. And then the downhill is one of the more, well, it's not the downhill where I dropped my bike, but it was downhill. I'm like, oh Jesus, this is quite something. So downhill where I dropped my bike, that'll be in part 2 of this video when I get around to that.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, a disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic with this logic, you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic. Go!
To last with the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot foot on the gas, no, never stop competing, yeah.
I've been doing this, I'm on it. I just wanna be iconic. Sipping on a gin and tonic. Got me going off when I'm on this topic, yeah. If I ever play, I want it. You know that I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep by your face, no way, you don't want it, yeah.
Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy. I can leave a legacy of leading by intensity. Come on, we can fight this. Freedom is priceless.
So here we start climbing the hills again. It's pretty cool. The hills are a little bit more steep than they look on the camera footage, obviously. And as the hills start to go from like short little bumps to real hills, I don't like going close behind people on hills because I'm always worried about them going down and then me not finding a way around them, or them stopping and then me having to stop on the hill. So here I am trying to I go a little faster up hills because I like the momentum, so I'm giving him some space, and then I'm coming up, and these hills aren't that difficult, but I just don't want to have to restart on a hill. But they're going to lead to a pretty interesting and fun and challenging downhill, as you're about to see. So I pass Ben going up the hill, and these are pretty cool hills, actually. I really enjoy them. And then I'm coming up on Matt on his KTM, and I want to go a little bit faster too, so I'm I want to pass him in the right spot because I don't want him to cut in front of me as I'm trying to pass. Yeah, as you can see, we're gaining altitude pretty quickly here. Just look at these views. Like they say in that Instagram video, look at these rocks. This road is just amazing, beautiful. And the views, like you look down and you see the river and the green, the vegetation, and then all these rocks and the steep cliffs. And this road is just spectacular. I love it. Like, I really wish we got down to the river, going along this road, and it's just so beautiful and such a spectacular ride. The road here is perfect. And we're going to come to a pretty steep downhill. You go up first, and then come to a pretty steep downhill. But like right now, we're just enjoying this, riding by the river on this really cool dirt road. Like, where does this exist anywhere besides Moab?
Stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test. Expect nothing less, you check as I'm chess, what's happening next?
He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession, all in his possession. You got their attention, now leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression.
They try to play it, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, heard it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me.
So this is a pretty challenging hill also. Past Ben letting go past, and you can't see it because of the GoPro. Because the GoPro makes everything look flatter, but this is really steep. And there's a couple times like this, you see the bike step down when it goes on the rock. And it's really steep on the side of the road. Like if you were to go too fast and go over it, you'd go down forever. Even these like sharp turns and really steep. And here it's like this turn right here. It's soft sand and way steeper than it looks. So I'm going right now. I'm going about as slow as I can on the bike to turn. I'd love to do this again and again just to get better and more confident. But I'm going as slow as the bike will go right here because there's a big old drop if I go straight, and and I want to make sure I'm pointed the right way, and then I go down, and I wish I looked up more so you could see like all those amazing views. Not just the river, but all the cliffs with the rocks. And you can see, like when you're going down here, you can see the road where you're supposed to be. You're like, how the hell am I getting down there? Well, the answer is this steep road. Wanted this to be less than 30 minutes, but I'm keeping this footage right here just so Matt, when he watches it, he can see himself riding the motorcycle in the video, because that is kind of cool. And to be honest, this is visually pleasing also. Look at the river and the distant straight up mountain in the future. And you can see on that last hill we did, by watching him, you can kind of tell how steep it was. But here we're coming upon, like, we go do some ups and downs, and I don't know what happened to the footage, but like we have these hills that are a little bit complicated, and that's where Ben dropped his bike. Unfortunately, I don't know what I did to that footage, but like if you watch it now, you get dizzy. You can kind of see how hard the hills are, but you get dizzy watching the video, so I'm just going to delete it and then keep it down, keep this whole video down to 30 something. But like you can see, I'm trying to time these roads are really cool. It goes from dirt to like these rocks, and I'm trying to do the thing where you time where you accelerate, so you lift the front end to go over rocks, but I need a lot of practice because I get it wrong every time. Good thing the Africa Twin is so well designed, the big 21-inch front wheel, that I can make a mistake and still roll over most of these rocks, all of these rocks really. Lofting, that's what it's called. That's the exercise where Matt did a somersault on his GS when we were in training. But I am trying to practice lofting on some of these rocks, and I'm getting it wrong every time. Because you go there's parts of this where the road is just rock, and there's obviously some rises and stuff like that. Oh no, Ben, what happened? Was that hill too difficult? And this is where I turned around to go get him, and then on we go. So that's the actual hill where Ben lost it is right before this, but that footage is ruined. So, but look at the views though.
There's where we're gonna go.
This is amazing. So we'd been passing some motorbike guys, some dirt bike guys, and their support trucks, and we let them go by, and we're about to catch up with them again in some of this area. Oh, man, I really love this road right here. This is like perfect. It's the perfect amount of challenge right here. Yeah, this is the perfect amount of difficulty and interesting. On the difficult / interesting matrix, this is about where I really like it. I can go forever on this, and it's about to get pretty some steep hills, and here we are on this cut out a little bit here. This is me trying to pass Matt, but not successful. And we come across the guys on the dirt bike, and then we have a conversation about my Africa twin, and then we go on. There they are.
Hello again.
Is it nimble?
Yes, but it's also big and heavy.
Right. How much heavy?
500, 530, something like that.
Yeah, it's the same as the 1200. I had a 1200 until a few weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I picked up a dirt bike instead. Yeah, it's a good looking bike.
I love the way it looks.
Honda did a great job with it. It's bigger than I thought.
So this is the adventure sport.
Wider?
It's wider and taller.
And you got more gas?
Yes, I can go at about 75 miles an hour. I've got like 325 miles.
That's a good range.
Yeah. Faster you go, the thirstier it gets.
Nice. And who makes the bags?
Kriega.
Okay, yeah, I've seen those. Yeah, those are nice.
And the dirt bike guys were cool enough to take a picture of the three of us, and then up this hill, which was, I've seen this in all everybody else's videos, and I was expecting it to be more difficult, and in the end for me the difficult part was the going down part, but that's in part 2. So you get to see me go up this hill effortlessly, even though it was kind of steep. Just so fun. This hill was so fun. And at the top, there's a bunch of dirt bikers and stuff. And we got to chat with them and take some pictures of the view. And that'll bring an end to the first part, which is already 6 minutes longer, but there's not really any part of it that I want to cut because, wow, I mean, what am I going to do? Cut this? Look at this. This hill's awesome. So that's it. That's the first half of White Rim Trail. Here's a view of the All Trails map, 97 or 98 miles or so. Elevation goes to 6,000 feet. And yeah, that's it. That's the first half. Now I got to do the second half. Here's the map, and there's the view.